A very good afternoon to you all. I am honored to be a part of this technical session and asked me to say something about our East-West status of the HECE project and higher education. One question always crosses my mind: are our university graduates playing significant role in the socio-economic development of our country, Bangladesh? The quality and relevance of education that a graduate in Bangladesh receives is of great importance to our country's development and economic activities. For achieving the target of quality education, the government of Bangladesh and the World Bank has generously founded this project, which is known as Higher Education Quality Enhancement Project, HECE. UGC is helping both public and private universities in Bangladesh in establishing state-of-art of classrooms, digital libraries, and laboratories. The researchers are now getting funds for researches in different areas. HECE's role, I consider the HECE's role, they are playing a pioneer role in two areas. One is research, another is the teaching and learning. I express my thanks on behalf of East-West University to the HECE authority. There is another very significant contribution of HECE. Establishing of quality assurance mechanism is one of the major components of HECE. All universities, it's my understanding and belief that they should establish quality assurance cells. Don't forget that in the intensive competitive global environment, the economic fortunes of every country are increasingly determined by the quality of its national education and innovative systems. I think you all aware that during last few decades, Western countries and many countries in Asia and Africa have brought paradigm shift in higher education system. As Bangladesh has scope for knowledge export, educational revitalization is essential in order to attain and sustain national and international acceptable quality of education. It is perhaps the call for the hour to compare our existing education model with overseas higher education models and bring necessary changes in order to make it more acceptable to international community. The traditional education is not appropriate for today's world. We need to change educational system and adopt widely accepted outcome-based education to promote educational revitalization. UGC and Quality Assurance Unit can play a vital role in implementing outcome-based education in our universities. Lastly, I may update you the status of our HECE project. We have 3 HECE projects, 2 related to research and 1 related to curriculum design and teaching, learning. All 3 are ongoing projects. They haven't finished. Maybe next time, if I get any opportunity to say something on those projects, then I will do that. Thank you for your kind patience hearing.
Thank you, Dr. Shohid Hasan. Now, this brings an end to the second part of the first session. Before I finish, I want to thank the Honorable Vice Chancellors for coming here and then speaking before the audience. And I apologize to the Honorable Vice Chancellors who could not speak here. But I will talk to our Honorable Chairman and see whether we can find out a mechanism so that we can meet together and then exchange our ideas about the projects in different universities. Thank you very much. Now, thank you very much. Now, we have in this session 4 more short presentations. The presentation will be made by Dr. MD Mohammad Rashid. He will speak on BDRAN. Professor S.M. Javed Ahmed will speak on digital library. Professor Misbauddin Ahmed will speak on quality assurance. And Professor A. Muhibur Rahman will speak on sustainability of ECA project. May I request the 4 presenters to come on the dais, please?
Honorable Session Chair and today present Honorable Vice Chancellors, distinguished professors, guests. On behalf of BDRAN, Bangladesh Research and Education Network, I'd like to present sort of informative things in front of you. Well, I'm Dr. Mohammad Rashid, as the chair sir said. I'm working as a technical consultant in BDRAN. And here is my contents. As the time is very limited, I'd like to short my presentation. Gentlemen, we have, by this time you already know that HECAP is having many components, as many as 5 components, and BDRAN is one of them. And the BDRAN is one of the largest component in terms of budget, and the total budget is 71.5 billion up to 2018. It's about what you came to know that BDRAN is raising connectivity in higher education institutions. We'd like to provide connectivity. Through connectivity, we'd like universities, research organizations, would like to improve their research and collaboration. And we'd like to provide some sort of service. I'll describe these things in my later slides. And using those services, I hope universities will come up with new innovations. Right at this moment, we have pilot network, and pilot network we have Dhaka University, BUET, Shere-Bangla Agricultural University, Jahangirnagar University, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Medical University, North South University, and UGC. And these institutions are connected to internet through BTCL and BSCCL. And in case of educational traffic, these institutions are connected using TAIN, Trans-Eurasia Information Network. I'll describe it little in the later slides. How we are providing this connectivity. I mean, when the BDRAN will be established fully, we are having, I think you are aware of PGCB, Power Grid Company Bangladesh Limited. And on top of the power line, there is a fiber optic. We are using that fiber optic cable to connect all the universities. Initially, we have leased a pair of fiber from the PGCB, and you can see that these are the PGCB stations where we already have fiber. And this blue line is the fiber connectivity between the PGCB stations. And using this connectivity, we are going to reach the university with another connectivity. We are going to, actually we have already laid fiber from the PGCB station to the university to provide the last mile connectivity. And right at this moment, as I said, we have a pilot network, and the network in progress will have 34 public universities and other private universities. And in the next phase, we are going to cover the medical colleges and research organizations. At this moment, I would like to avoid the technical terminologies. We are just in the last part of our work. Hopefully we are going to provide you connections maybe from January next year. So these are the different systems. transmission network, data network, video conferencing, cloud systems, and these are the progress of each individual system individually. Now, while working in this project, when I have visited many universities, I got some idea. What is the perception? What is the general perceptions about VDRAIN in the universities? If I ask what service VDRAIN is going to provide, everybody is looking for bandwidth. Everybody says, I'd like to get bandwidth service. I ask about any other services VDRAIN could provide. I think the answer is negative. They don't have that sort of idea. And some people ask me that there are commercial ISPs, then why we are implementing another method? Why there is VDRAIN? And another very important question I used to face every time, that whether research requires high-speed connectivity. I'll answer these questions. The thing I was showing you in the previous slide about the network. Now, what sort of network and what sort of resources we have? If you ask about backbone, we have 3,500 kilometers of fiber through which we can connect the universities and research organizations. And in this phase, we have implemented 35 university and 11 PCB stations as POP, means point of presence. That means we can connect the other institutions using this POP. And we have a data center and disaster recovery center with an availability of 5/9. That means in a year, the data center might go down for 1 hour, 5 minutes, something like that. But we have a disaster recovery center as well, so it will never go down. Now, we have 400 terabyte storage, and we have 16 blade server. Each server is having 2 processors, 12 core, 96 gigabyte memory for each. These are maybe technical terms, but this can solve many problems. If you require virtual machine, if you require high computing machine service, in that case, VDRAIN can provide it. And by this time, we have already implemented virtual classrooms in 34 public universities. That means one course can be conducted from one university to another university. And all the sites can have simultaneous video conferencing. With these resources, what we can serve bandwidth service, we can serve hosting. That means, so far I know probably 8 to 9 universities have their facility of hosting their websites in their university. So we can provide hosting service, application service, and we can provide infrastructure. We can provide high-end computing, video conferencing, unified communication, IP telephony, video telephony, all these things. Besides this, 15 university campus network has already been implemented, and other 19 university, we have completed the design. And it is probably at the last stage. We are going to procure the necessary devices for implementing the campus network. The question I was asking in the previous slide, that is high volume bandwidth or high bandwidth is required for research, whether it is required. In working in this project, I was visiting many different universities and research institutes. In case of agriculture, I saw that there are some researches going on, like summer vegetables, off-season ground-ear fruit, salinity, moisture stress. This sort of research require satellite images. And from VDRAIN, we used to supply terabytes of data to Bangladesh Agricultural Research Institute. So their research requires huge amount of data, and this huge amount of data requires a high bandwidth to download those information. And if you think about engineering and technology, obviously there is image processing, expression detection, big data, all this sort of research require huge data set to conduct operation examinations like this. And in case of health, if you ask about telemedicine, telesurgery, we had a workshop in the Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib Medical University, and during the workshop we had a live surgery from Hyderabad. So this requires huge real-time traffic and guaranteed traffic as well. There should not be any break in the communication. So this sort of operation also requires huge data and bandwidth. And in case of academic teaching and learning, in case of our country, we have many resources centered at Dhaka. But in the rural areas, we might not have that resources. And with the help of the virtual classrooms we built in 34 different public universities, we can conduct courses from one university to another university. Besides this, we used to hold training, workshop and seminars, and by this time we have hosted network management, campus network security, telemedicine, this type of workshop, and probably in January we are going to send 5 network technicians selected from different universities for a training in United States. And if I ask about the milestones, actually in 2009 we did an initially survey and study for network design, and then in 2010 we have leased the fiber. In 2011 we prepared the pilot network. 2012 we float the tender for 2 of our major components. One is for, we call it G46 and G25. One is for fiber connectivity, another is for the equipments. And in 2003 we have contract with the university, the vendors, and at the same time we have deployed the campus network in 4 different universities. In 2014, we have just worked with the packages in G25, like we have placed the network equipments, video conferencing equipments, data equipments, and then we have formed Vidren Trust.